numbers show that we've been going in the right direction since 10 days. This means that the curfew is paying off. There are less gatherings after 8 p.m., less contacts, and less contagion. I would like to thank Quebecers for their efforts. And I would like to thank our police officers for their work with the curfew. I want to say a few words about the situation of the homeless. I was touched, like everyone, by the recent death of a homeless man. We're all human, and it hurts to see someone die like that in our society. And I want to offer my condolences to the family and the community of Mr. André. Our police officers know very well the reality of the homeless. They won't give them tickets for fun. Their responsibility is to help them and guide them to a shelter. But we also need the tools to enforce the curfew that is saving lives. We're trying to find a balance for the good of all, and will continue our work to protect the homeless. So like I said, we've been going in the right direction over the past 10 days, but there's still a long way to go. We need to reduce the number of hospitalizations. That's why we cannot hope to reopen everything in the next few weeks. We must be patient and continue our efforts, especially with people over 65. Our nurses have been fighting the virus for 11 months now. If you're thinking of breaking the rules, think about them. The best way to help and thank them is to follow the rules. So we need to stay united, stay strong, and stay proud. Thank you.
Premier Legault, you said earlier in French, we all want to help the homeless. It's complex. And you suggested people are creating divisions and implying some people care about the homeless and others don't. And for a lot of people listening, that comes across as a defensive response. So my question is, do you feel personally attacked because people are raising questions, concerns about your government's policies about the homeless during this pandemic?
Okay, what I said is that the police officers are doing a very good job. They know the homeless very well. Their objective is not to give them tickets. It's to bring them in shelters and help them. And they know very well that the homeless cannot pay tickets. They don't have the means for that. So I think we have to keep our confidence in police officers. And what's important also, and what's my responsibility, is to find a balance to help the police officers being able easily to apply the curfew, to make sure that everybody respects the curfew. So that's why I think that the rules we have, and I've asked the opposition and many people to give me one example of a police officer who took a bad decision, and they cannot answer that. So it's working well, and we have to be very careful about Mr. André. There's an inquiry about what happened. So before trying to say that some people will die because of our rules, I think it's not fair to say that. And we have to respect police officers, and I have 100% confidence in these police officers, and I think that the actual rules are the right ones.
On January 6th, you said there are enough spaces available for the homeless. And suddenly, within the past 24 hours, there are 250 new beds at the Centre Pierre Charbonneau, at the Montreal Soccer Stadium. So is that an acknowledgement that you originally misjudged the situation? You said there were spaces for all of them, and now all of a sudden you're adding hundreds more.
Okay. First, the situation evaluates. It evaluates also with the weather. At the time, they were telling me that we need 600 places. So we announced at the time 800 places to make sure that we have a margin, that we have a cushion. Recently, they told me that we need another 1 or 200. We said, hey, we'll put another 250. So, and what we're trying to do, and the police officers are trying to bring as many homeless as possible in the shelters. Some of them, they don't want to go, but they try to explain them that there won't be any bad consequence for them if they accept to go warm in shelters. So, yes, the number increase, but as soon as we know that we need more space, we had more space. But at the time, they were telling us that they needed 600 places, and we've put 800. But now they say that we need more than 1,000, including the 800. So we're doing it.